Well, a very good morning to you and our viewers once again. Well, the latest is that Minister of Transport, that is Fikile Mbalula, will be here in Tshwane to visit some areas amid, of course, the ongoing strike. But to get more details as to exactly what is he going to be doing in response to this ongoing strike, I am joined by his spokesperson, that is Ayanda Alipane. Thank you very much for joining us. Talk to us about the planned activation by the minister this afternoon.
I think it's very important for Minister Mbalula to be on the ground to witness firsthand what this shutdown entails for commuters. He has a responsibility, of course, to make sure that law and order prevails as it pertains to transport. So we are hearing reports of intimidation. We're hearing reports that other modes of transport are not being permitted to operate, and I mean the buses, for example. So Minister really wants to get a sense firsthand as to what's happening on the ground. We cannot disclose the location of where he'll be going at the moment, but it is in the Tshwane area, and we want to make sure that he gets a sense of whether or not this shutdown is a peaceful process as was promised, or whether or not ulterior motives are prevailing.
He wants to get a sense of what's happening in the ground. Earlier we spoke to a lot of commuters that expressed frustration. As you mentioned there was another incident in Joburg where bus commuters were escorted from the bus by taxi operators. So what is he going to do after he gets the sense on the ground?
I think it's important for us to make sure that law and order prevails. So if there have been any transport-related or traffic-related infringements, we have our law enforcement officials on the ground to make sure that everything goes according to the law. But if there have been any acts of criminality, if any buses have been hijacked, for example, that's a criminal offense. And we're calling upon members of the SABC to do the right thing. But also it's important that Minister Mbalula satisfies himself with the fact that indeed the taxi operators' concerns are being raised in an amicable way as they promised that they would. Because as you'll know, this Wednesday the minister will be meeting with the taxi industry once more, giving them feedback, and so he has to have first-hand information of what's happening on the ground.
All right, and just lastly, the minister did say that he finds the strike to be unnecessary at this point in time because he is still due to meet with the taxi industry once again. But the overall thing, and they've repeated this to our colleagues in Johannesburg, I think they were talking with Griselda, where they said they simply, Santaco that is, the 1 billion is simply not enough. They want more money. Can the minister offer this? Is this under consideration still?
I think the only thing that can be considered at the moment are things like whether or not monies are given to e-hailing service providers as well, whether they go to meter taxis, whether or not we can look at opening up to 100% carrying capacity because maybe the country's ready for it now, whether or not long distance without the use of permits can be permitted, whether we can speak to COCTA as our counterparts and Home Affairs to allow inter-provincial or inter-country travel or cross-border travel. Those are the only few areas where minister can have some leeway. But when it comes to the amount, unfortunately, that is all that is available. He has crisscrossed the length and breadth of the country, wanting to find out from Department of Trade, Industry and Competition, wanting to find out from Treasury, wanting to find out from small business if there is any money that can be added to the 1 billion that's already been offered, and there is absolutely no way that we can do that. That's the final offer.
Ayanda, thank you very much. Well, there you have it. The spokesperson for Minister Mbalula just outlining what is expected. One, Minister Mbalula is going to be on the ground in Tshwane to assess himself the impact of this strike by Santaco, but also an important factor regarding that request for increasing the bailout amount. Ayanda saying there that definitely there are no plans for increasing this 1 billion rand any further, saying that the country simply cannot afford to assist the taxi industry with an even bigger amount, and that this is the only amount that is available to assist them. But of course we will carry on with the broadcasting of this strike, and of course monitor the minister's movements here in Tshwane.
You're watching that, Sipho Stirman. Thank you so much there. You're watching The Agenda. Let's take